Hi, friends. It's Joni with Three Feathers Spiritual Wisdom here with your weekly intuitive message from Spirit for the week of February 21 through the 27th of 2022. It's a mouthful to say, isn't it? I hope you're doing great. I thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. I really appreciate the support. So, this week's message, I am using the Forest of Enchantment Tarot cards. And for your messages that you get to pick, I've got two Oracle card decks this week again. So, do you want the messages from A, B, or C? What I'm using is the Sacred Creators Oracle and a new deck that someone gave me called Radical Abundance. And they have fun little cartoon like um, pictures on them, and the artist is Henry. Okay, so what is our message for this week? Right off the bat, two cards flew out to begin with. The first one is the Enchanter's Wheel. This is like the Wheel of Fortune. Hopefully you can see that without the glare. There are some magpies down here and over here, and the wheel itself has little trinkets on there. There's a bird's head, the skull of a bird's head, a mushroom, a key, an arrowhead, various plants that are that heal and can also poison you. This wheel, like the Wheel of Fortune, is sometimes showing us things that happen that we can't always control. They're fated things, like fate and karma is taking its turn of the wheel. Now, I was tapping into the energy, and I felt this can be both on a personal and a collective level. I did feel like there's been a shift overall, and it's not just our individual shifts, like a shift in time or a shift in energy that we can all take advantage of. So this might be indicating that. I felt the shift a while ago, though, but maybe something is going to happen that really shows us this is the beginning of, the wheel has turned. The card that came out with it, I think, is a really interesting one, and it is an ace, the ace of visions. And in the regular tarot, this would be the ace of cups, the holy grail that God's hand on the card would be giving us. So this is again the overflow of emotion. This is an emotional gift. This is an overflow of happiness or joy. Maybe we're happy because of this new cycle. We have fresh ideas and new relationships or new opportunities or new projects coming at us. The interesting thing in this card, I want you to look carefully. The swan is gliding on the lake, and in its reflection is a different swan. It's one that has this lovely diamond pendant, and you can't see it very well, but it has a crown. So, is this saying something about how we are changing? We are taking on a new perspective of ourselves. Or is that a vision of our partner, a new partner in our lives? You'll have to tap in and see which one resonates with you. It could be a lot of things, but the wheel is turning, and the Ace of Cups is a gift. Okay? The next card that came out, and this is actually why I was drawn to the oracle cards for this week that I was drawn to, is the Enchanter. This is the Magician. Now, what I find interesting is the Magician is the master manifester in any tarot deck. And this Enchanter is manipulating elements to serve his purpose, to create. And it so happens that this Wheel of Fortune here is called the Enchanter's Wheel. So is it us that is making this new start? We are manifesting, or the things that we've been trying to manifest are taking root and are happening? So this energy of the Magician and the Manifester are very present this week. And it could be on a collective level, or it could be the personal level. What are you trying to manifest in your life? The energy is here. And I really feel like the energy is here because the next card that came out, two more cards came out. The next card was the Four of Spells. And in the regular tarot, this is the Four of Wands. And I believe we had the Four of Wands in the reading last week as well. And it was like the last card because this is the celebration. This is, we got to something, we manifested something, we need to celebrate. It's also about community coming together. Maybe something happens, the Wheel of Fortune, that karma, that Wheel of Fortune, the fate occurs, and we need to come together as a community. But it's definitely in celebration. Look at the fairy lights, that the fairies are going through the forest in the fairy lights. It's an enchanting, it's an enchanter's, the enchanter, this is an enchanting picture. Fascinating. The last card that came out may seem negative, but it's not. It's the Ace of Challenges. It's another ace card, and ace cards are always yeses. But this would be the Ace of Swords. I feel like this is the sword that Spirit is giving you to get clarity as you go forward and manifest. Here, the raven or the white bird has an arrow. And when you shoot an arrow, you're shooting it at a target. You're focused, and you have to be focused. It's probably easy to slash a sword around. It's a little harder to get a bow or an arrow through the bow. I've tried this before a long time ago when I was in gym in high school or something, or junior high. It's darn hard to do a bow and arrow. And then you've got to release it and hope it hits something, the target. But here, Spirit is giving you the arrow. So you're getting a cup and you're getting an arrow all in one week. So something is definitely happening this week that is about manifestation. So, we had a full moon last week. The new moon in March is expected, but here I'm really feeling even more energy of manifestation this week. So if you haven't set your intentions, I would do so. And if you have set intentions and you've been waiting on something, maybe there's a breakthrough this week. I really hope so. Okay, so have you taken a moment? Do you want cards A, B, or C? These are your cards that you pick. The first card out, I'm gonna go with the sacred The Sacred Creators card first. Change maker makes waves. You are a change maker. Those of you who picked A, you already know that you make change, and you're a doer. Maybe you're an activist of some kind. You are uh you're being given the green light. Go forward, make the changes that you want, that you desire, and make those waves. There's change that you make is going to reverberate out. It's like throwing the pebble into the pond. The waves of it hit in many ways. And this is good. This is what you want. This is what you desire. Or maybe this is what's fated for you, the change that you make. But you're definitely being given a green light. The other card from the Radical Abundance, I think fits really well with it. Uniqueness. I think that you, just being you, is the change maker. You are confident in who you are, in what you do, no matter how different it is from other people. And that in itself, you just standing in your own power and your own uniqueness, makes waves. And that's okay. So, wow, that's I'm getting goosebumps for you. I really am. Okay, for those of you who picked B, ambush fear with ferocious dream. This means if you've had some doubt, and we all have fears of success, your dream, and it doesn't matter. Those fears don't matter. Your dream is, and you're so driven to attain your dreams that you're pushing that fear out of the way, and so you should. You need to ferociously go after your dream, and don't worry, and despite the fear or the doubt. I think you need to just trust again that you are on the right path, and that spirit wants you to go after and attain what you need to attain, because it is for your highest good and the highest good of others. Um, your other card that came out was very interesting, and it's perspective. So I think you need to take a different perspective on what your doubts are, or what your fears are that may be holding you back. You take a different perspective on them, then they become smaller. See, if you take that look at the whole picture, sometimes those things become really tiny, and then your dream is much bigger to go after. That, yeah, that really spoke to me as well. Okay, for those of you who picked C, your card is stop, drop, and ground. You actually need to take care of yourself. This is really an indication of some self-care. You've been really, maybe very busy, very stressed out. I know I have, and I took a day yesterday to walk in nature. And so this is important. In order for you to keep going, you need to stop and take care of yourself. The other card, the card from the Radical Abundance for you, was stability. Now, I thought a moment about this card and looking at it, and I want you to note that the home here is a mobile home. So the definition of stability, it can be very different. Doesn't have to be a solid, house that you never go anywhere. Stability has different definitions. And look at the rocks behind there. They're like, it's like a Jenga, you know, goodness knows they could fall over, yet they don't. They're put in such a way that they're stable. So think about that for a moment in your situation, or maybe you weren't feeling stable, but you really are. No matter, even if you move around or the things around you are kind of precarious, you're more stable than you think. You just need a little more self-care. So, those are your messages. Very interesting week. I am very curious to see how this is going to go. So, I hope it goes well for you. Wishing you many blessings. Have a wonderful week. Thank you again for liking, subscribing, commenting, and coming up in March, on March 13th, I will be in Omaha at the Omaha Holistic Expo as a vendor. I hope that you come by and see me there. I will announce it again in the coming weeks. Take care.